Before independence, before the flag, before the anthem, there was a year when poor Jamaican workers forced the island to change. That year was 1938. At the time, Jamaica was still a British colony. The island's wealth came from the labor of ordinary people: sugar workers, dock workers, domestic workers, farmers, and laborers. But the people doing the hardest work were living in poverty. Jobs were scarce, wages were low, food was expensive, living conditions were brutal. And by 1938, the pressure finally exploded. One of the biggest flashpoints was Frome Sugar Estate in Westmoreland. Workers there protested for better pay and better treatment. But this was not just about one sugar estate. Across Jamaica, workers began to strike, march, and rebel. They were not only asking for more money, they were asking for dignity. They were saying, how can we work so hard in Jamaica and still not be able to live? And that question still connects to Jamaica today. Because in 1938, the fight was on sugar estates and colonial work sites. Today, the fight looks different. It is the hotel worker serving tourists but struggling to pay bills. It is the security guard working long hours. It is the cashier, the farmer, the construction worker, the call center worker, and the young graduate wondering if Jamaica has space for their future. The plantation has changed shape, but the question remains: who really benefits from Jamaican labor? The 1938 rebellion changed Jamaica forever. Out of that unrest came stronger trade unions, mass politics, and leaders who helped shape the road to independence. Before 1938, poor workers were expected to suffer quietly. After 1938, Jamaica could never be governed the same way again. The British colonial system had been shaken, not by the rich, not by the powerful, but by ordinary Jamaican workers. That is why 1938 matters. It was not just a riot, it was not just a strike. It was the birth of modern Jamaica. But the story is not finished. Every time Jamaicans talk about wages, rent, food prices, jobs, migration, and the cost of living, we are still dealing with the unfinished business of 1938. The workers back then were asking for a Jamaica where labor came with respect, where people could work and live with dignity. So the real question today is, did we build the Jamaica they were fighting for? Because modern Jamaica was not handed down from above. It was pushed up from below, by workers, by protest, by struggle, by people who had nothing left to lose. And that is why 1938 still matters.